Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk to y'all about why I stopped doing Turo. And if you're new here and you don't watch my normal videos, my name is Alana Ray. I'm a respiratory therapist and I also do some side hustles, which include CPR instructing. So if you need your BLS, hit me up. And I also have a respiratory journal out. Actually, I'm making a new one. If you're a respiratory therapist, it includes the normal values and just some slight tweaks to it. So I have that, and then I have a book if you are a respiratory therapist or are interested in being a respiratory therapist. It's called Six-Figure Respiratory Therapist, my guide to being a successful respiratory therapist. So check those out. The links are on my YouTube channel, and yeah. So let me get into why I'm done with Turo, Hyer Car, all those type of renting apps. Like, I'm absolutely done with it. Like, it was an investment. It had its time. It did make me some money. Like, I'm very grateful for that. But at the end of the day, the cons are why I'm done with it. And previously I made a video about last year talking about why I love doing Turo, all the benefits of it. But honestly, once I got to the bad side, this is why I would never do it again. Unless I do it differently, and honestly still then, like, no, I probably wouldn't do it. Okay, so anyways, I started Turo because my friend's brother recommended to me, and he ain't even doing it no more. He ain't even doing it no more because it's just like all the wear and tear on your car, he said, and it just becomes too much. And he's like, he wants to be a person like who the CEOs of Turo are, like people that are over everything, not just renting out cars and making money for that. So basically making money off other people. Like, he doesn't want to be the middleman, I guess you would call it. So anyways, yeah, he got me into it. And I was like, oh yeah, I want to invest my money. I want to make a lot of money. Okay, bet Turo, that seems like a good thing for me. So I went out and I bought a car. I put $4,000 down and I financed. Now, once I get into this video, you're going to see why that was a mistake. Like, financing a car to rent is not the best idea, especially because cars lose value very quickly. And I had a Kia Forte, and it had got in 2 accidents and stolen. So this is my horror story, and I'm gonna tell y'all like how everything just started going downhill from I did it straight, completely, everything went well for a whole year, but it seemed like once that year mark happened, everything started going downhill. So June of 2023, which was this year, I was having a pretty rough month already. Like, it was just a lot. So to top it off, my Turo gets in an accident. So tell me why one day I'm sleeping, and I typically sleep for work in the daytime because I was night shift, and I look on my Turo app when the person was dropping off the car, because what I didn't do, which was my fault, was I wasn't actually physically there with the driver most times when they were checking in or checking out the car, which I should have. I wasn't checking the IDs, I wasn't doing any of that, and that was a big mistake, because when situations like accidents occur or somebody's trying to rent the car out for somebody else, it's like people could take advantage of you in this situation. And I was taking advantage of when I rented the car to someone and I wasn't there during the checkout process. I was asleep and I just was like, oh yeah, just park the car here, leave the keys in the middle stand, and that's just that. So after that, I woke up from my nap, and then I went to the Turo app and I saw it was an accident, and I'm like, well, it was a damage claim, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? So I went to look at the damage claim and I see that the driver was in an accident. So I called the driver and I'm like, hey, you're in an accident, like what's going on? Like, I just woke up, like what is going on? So that's when the renter tells me, hey, actually I'm in Miami right now, and now it's my friend who rented the car, and he got in an accident, blah blah blah, whoop whoop. I'm like, oh my gosh, is this really happening to me? So he gives me the friend's number. I call the friend, and the friend tells me he got in a hit and run. I'm like, okay, just give me some details about exactly what happened. So after that, he gives me the details or whatever, and I do a police report because I'm like, I need to do a police report on my end just to save myself and just make sure everything's okay. So he told me somebody had hit him. It was raining. It was a lot going on at the time, and he doesn't really remember, but he was in DeKalb County, like close to my house, and he just had gotten a little hit and run. I'm like, okay, you know, trying to make positive out of the situation. I'm like, things happen, whatever, we're gonna get this resolved. Just give me some more details, and also I just want to get this, you know, fixed or whatever. So Turo gives you two options. They say you could either go through the customer, or you could go, well, the renter, or you could go through Turo. And at the time I had a 90-10% plan, meaning I had 90% of the income that I made from Turo, and they only got 10%. When you do this plan, your deductible is $2,500, so you happen to be in an accident. So my vehicle was in an accident, and this guy who rented the car, not the friend, the guy who was actually driving the car, he just stopped cooperating. He was giving me an attitude, and I'm like, hey, are you gonna pay this? If not, I'm gonna have to pay the deductible or whatever. And he was like, ma'am, listen, I'm in a business meeting right now, blah, blah, blah. And he was just acting stupid. I'm just like, okay, you're in a hit and run, things happen, like, let's get this resolved. Like, why do you have an attitude with me? So 2 days later, come to find out, he was the one that did the crime. He did the hit and run. So he did this hit and run in my car, and the reason I found out that it was him that did it is because the people that were his victims, they got my tag number, and the insurance was calling me. Now this is another thing. When you deal with insurance and you don't notify your insurance that you're using the car for commercial purposes, like you're using it for Turo or Hire Car, whatever, they're not gonna cover it. So I had to go through Turo, but they told the guy, like, yeah, we're not covering your vehicle because she was using a app or renting it through Turo, and yeah, we're not gonna be able to cover it. So I mean, honestly, I'm probably gonna have to pay for that, but then again, it wasn't me driving the car, and then a police report was done and a warrant is out for the guy's arrest. But yeah, see, that is a terrible situation. I had to pay $2,500 deductible, get my car fixed, and it was gonna be a warrant out for my arrest. If it wasn't a warrant, if I didn't call the police and go through all this, like, I was crying, everything. It was just terrible. Had to spend all this time, all this money, deal with the police because someone hit my car, and then $2,500 deductible I had to pay, and Turo took forever. They took for freaking ever to get a adjuster on my claim. So they did that, and then once they did get an adjuster on my claim, I took pictures and showed them everything at what happened with the accident. But they only had like the front bumper, and this boy had messed up the front bumper, the back. Like, he hit so many parts of the car. That's how I should have known he was lying. Like, he hit so many different parts of the car, and come to find out, the people that were his victims, they got in contact with me. They're like, yeah, he hit a house, he was driving off, everything. So anyways, the police is dealing with him. But yeah, he has warrant out for his arrest, and that's good for him. I hope he gets arrested because you are really awful. And I don't think the guy who rented the car for him could use Turo anymore. So yeah, that's what happened. That was my little horror story. Like, it took a minute to get the car fixed. I stopped doing the 90-10% plan because I'm just like, you don't really benefit. Like, yeah, you're getting all this money, but it's just like, it's not worth it if somebody gets in an accident. And this is why I said I wouldn't finance the car, because mind you, I'm still making monthly payments on the car, and I'm having to use my money, my own money, to pay for these monthly car payments while the car is in the shop. I'm not making any money. So with that being said, I do Turo again. I give it another chance. Although the guy that told my car, he was a AAA worker, he told my car, he was like, hey, you should do this app called Hire Car, because these Turo people, they just take your car, they rent it, they do it for a joyride, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. And I'm just like, yeah, you're right, let me try Hire Car. And Hire Car, what it is people that do DoorDash, Uber Eats, all that. They just rent your car, and they're more reliable with it because they're actually trying to work. So I'm like, okay, yeah, bet that up, I'm about to do that. So Before I get it set up on Hire Car, I'm still doing Turo. And tell me why 2 weeks later, my car gets wrecked again. Yes, 2 weeks later, my car gets wrecked again, and this time the guy pays for his little insurance portion of the car, and then I just have to pay a deductible of $750 because instead of the 90-10% plan, I started doing the 80-20% plan because I'm just like, it's just not worth it to pay that highest deductible if your car gets in an accident. But it's like, I just paid $3,000 goddamn dollars on top of not making no money, on top of having to pay the car payment. Do not finance a car if you want to do Turo. If you want to do Turo, that's all fine and dandy, but do not finance a car. That was a mistake that I made. Like, just do not do it. So yeah, that was very upsetting, back to back like that, and it's just like, oh my gosh. So I'm just like, you know what, let me just do Hire Car. Like, this must be my sign, like God trying to tell me, like, just stop doing Turo. So I finally got the car set up on Hire Car. I'm like, bet this up. They're gonna be more reliable with this. They're gonna rent it out for longer since they're actually doing it for months. And so yeah. Anyways, the car got rented out on Hire Car. I got it set up and everything. It was this really sweet young girl. I guess she does like Uber Eats and DoorDash with my car. So she's been having it for months. Like, she got the oil change. I had her get the tires done. Like, she's just been working and then just helping me just rent this car out. Or, well, renting the car out while doing DoorDash and doing Uber Eats and all that. So I'm like, all right, cool, bet. This is going good. I'm making like $1,000 a month. Like, I'm not having to do no check-in, check-out process. I'm like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Life is finally getting back where it should be with my business. Tell me why. About a month and a half into me getting my car. Until my car being on the Hire Car route, and this same girl renting it. And she got the oil change, she got the tires done just maybe 3 days ago. I just paid her to get it done because I was out of the country, and currently right now I'm in Washington, D.C., but she still had the car, and I was just gonna have my uncle manage it whenever she gave the car back. So tell me why she texted me one day, and I'm scared because I'm like, oh my gosh, she never texts me. What did she text me for? Tell me why she parked the car and she doesn't see it. I'm like, oh my gosh. Is this seriously happening? So at this point, we're thinking the car got towed. Maybe she was parked in the wrong area. So we call a whole bunch of tow places and saying, hey, did the car get towed? Did the car get towed? What's going on? Just trying to make sure everything's okay with my car, like didn't get stolen. We were thinking like, who actually hotwires cars these days? So we called all these tow companies. Nowhere to be found is my car. So I'm like, could it have been stolen? She's calling her leasing office. She's calling just little areas around to see if maybe the car was stolen by someone. Because I'm just thinking, nobody's, like, I didn't think people steal cars anymore. Yeah, so anyways, we finally just did a police report because I'm like, time doesn't need to go past. And if I'm going to have to go through insurance, then time just doesn't need to go past. I need to file a police report so this could get dealt with. So tell me why we do a police report on the car, and days later, this was Saturday, Tuesday, they called me telling me the car was found. So I have a Kia Forte, and y'all probably like, oh my gosh, you have a Kia? How stupid is that? Well, I didn't freaking know about the damn Kia boys. So if you don't know about the Kia boys are the boys, a group of boys or women, or I don't freaking know. But they're a group of people that have been stealing Kias out. And if I would have known this, I would have never got a Kia. I would have never done Turo, Hire Car, nothing. But yeah, so a group of people, they go around stealing cars, they pop the steering wheel off, they take a screwdriver or a USB and crank the car up, and then they just ride around and fuck up your car. So I'm laughing at it, but this was just like a nightmare because it's like my car just got in 2 wrecks. Now the Kia boys like stole my freaking car, and I'm all the way in Washington, D.C. This nice sweet girl has been running up a check on Hire Car, making me money, making her money. Like, damn, why this have to happen? So yeah, they recovered my car, which honestly, I wanted them to just have it. Like, I just wanted them to have the car, just have the car. Like, I'm done with it. Like, I just wanted y'all pay me for whatever. Like, I don't know how stolen cars work when they find and recover the car. I don't know, but I just really didn't want it. But they ended up finding it. The car was completely trashed out. The steering wheel was popped off. My uncle had to get the car from the towing company. He said it was smelling like smoke. The tag, I already said that, but the tag was off. Like, it was just a mess. They took the Kia sign off. I'm guessing that was their like trophy for being the Kia boys. I don't know, but it was found by the DeKalb Police Department, and it was stolen from Atlanta. So yeah, I'm just like, oh my gosh. So now I have to pay, guess what? An $1,000 deductible. $1,000 deductible? $1,000. $2,500. $750. Do you see all this money I spent? It's like, damn, I would have never did Turo or Hire Car, or just, you know, and I'm just mad at the fact that I did. The reason that I even started this business is because, if you know, I'm a travel respiratory therapist, and I wanted to invest money, and I honestly was having like a little breakdown where I just wanted to kind of boss up, and this is how I bossed up, by going out and buying a car. But I don't really think I thought it through, and it did have its time, it did have its benefits, but it's just like, now with everything that happened to this Turo, I really feel like I wasted money. But you know, at least I took a leap of faith and went out on an investment and saw like, okay, this is not what I want to do, because now with businesses, I'm not doing any other thing that has such a liability attached to it. So now I'm just promoting my book, I'm doing my YouTube channel and CPR classes. Yeah, Turo, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't think if you're financing a car, you should do it. People are terrible in this world, and they don't care about what you have going on. So it's like, it's best to, when you're running a business, unless you have all these insurances and stuff that I don't even know about, just don't do it. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. And take my experience as a learning lesson. If you do want to do Turo, maybe do a cash car, but even then you have to keep up with the maintenance, the oil change, the tires, the brakes, this and this and that. I hope nobody put a hex on me, because it's like all this stuff back to back to back. Like, come on now. But yeah, so it's crazy, because it was going very, very well in the beginning. Like, I was making money, I was running up a check, like everything was going good. But at the end of the day, it just started going terrible, and it was at a very bad time of my life to start going terrible, but it did. And yeah, now I'm done with it. This car is getting sold. I am done with it. Kia actually has a lawsuit where they're gonna reimburse like for the deductible and stuff, so at least I'll get that for the stolen car or whatever. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video. If you want to do Hire Car or Turo, do it on your own will. I don't recommend it anymore. But hey, take my lesson and use it for you as far as businesses and what you want to do. Bye.